right, Shalom Akim. We would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakodash, that will honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessing to the house of David the elect. On Zahabi to my left.
Yashima.
Right.
And we're GMS Mississippi Camp. All right, coming with another lesson, dealing with post-war, all right, nation building. All right, post-war nation building. Because what we have to understand is there's a great war coming. All right, and in this war, there's going to be a lot of casualties, man. And even leading up to the time where Yahushua is going to wage war, against this society, it's going to be chaos where a lot of people are going to be dying, all right? A lot of men are going to be put to death. There's going to be a lot of women, all right, that's going to be left over, man. You see, how about Shema Shai made everything with a purpose, man. Everything has their use, you see? And we're coming back into the time where everything is going back to its order, all right? Men playing their role, women playing their role, and we are going to run the earth, and everything is going to be used for its purpose, man. Because right now it's a bunch of vanity. What's the thing now with the modern woman? Get a dog, die alone.
Yep.
No, that wasn't what you was made for.
That's right.
Everybody was born with a particular purpose, man. And that's what we're tapping back into within this rulership, man. All right? Oh, you got it, bro.
All right, 2nd Ezra 16 and 21.
Yep.
For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
See, this is the time that we're coming into now. It's finna get real chaotic.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Esau Edom is bringing in troops, all right, within these essential jobs because he's finna get real draconian, man. It's finna get to the point now where you don't comply, you're gonna be put to death, man.
Yep.
You see? Go ahead.
All right, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish.
Yep.
And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah, so it's a lot of death coming. It's going to be real chaotic, man. Food shortage, money, economic collapse. All right, militias running rampant. All these ideologies that's going to clash in the earth, man. War. It's going to be chaotic, man. Because even before these nations get into war, all right, civilians are going to go to war with each other. Civilians going to go to war with the police. Militia's finna go to war with the National Guard, all right? UN troops and militia's gonna be going there. It's gonna be going down. Drug cartels, it's finna go down in the earth, man. Especially here in America, where these citizens, all right, have the most weaponry, man.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
All right, 2nd Ezra 16 and 23.
Yep.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them.
Yep.
For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
Yeah, the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Ain't gonna be funerals and RIP on Facebook. No, it's just gonna be chaos and death, man.
Oh.
You see, go ahead.
All right. There shall be no 2nd Ezra 16 and 24. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?
Yeah, so that's talking about laborers. You see, these jobs. Because that's talking about what? Essential work. All right? Ain't going to be no garbage man. Ain't going to be nobody cutting the grass. You see? Ain't going to be nobody building new houses and subdivision. All this, a lot of people finna be put to death. A lot of people finna be erased out of the script, man. Go ahead.
All right. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?
Yep.
The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men.
Yeah, all places shall be desolate of what?
Of men.
Go ahead.
So that one man should desire to see another and to hear his voice.
Yeah, because when in chaos, who's going to be the one trying to go out and get supplies and resources for the family? It's the men. There's going to be a lot of men that go out, all right, to try to make a play for the family that's not going to come back. You see, when men invade each other, all right, in these times, who they're going to put to death? The men. And they're going to take the woman. That's the times that we coming into now. This is pre-war, all right? We ain't got into the post-war yet, but this is the pre-war, all right, chaos, man. Go ahead.
So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice.
Yep.
For of a city there should be 10 left.
Yep.
And 2 of the field.
Hey, a city there should be 10 left. Imagine a town, all right, that has 10,000, people population, but now it's only 10 left, man. Show you how chaotic it's gonna be, man. Go ahead.
Which should hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks.
Yeah, in the wilderness, man. See, go ahead.
As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard.
Yep.
Even so, in those days, there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword.
Yep, everybody, they're going to be, you see the movies, when things break down and people are ramshacking people's houses, man. A lot of the houses be what? Vacant.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Go ahead.
And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns.
Yep, go ahead.
Because no man shall travel therethrough.
Mm-hmm.
The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands.
It said the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegroom. So you're going to have women, because see, in the West, this is after America is done. You see, this pretty much while we in the chariots, man. You see? And you're going to have so many men that have died through the chaos, through World War through World War III. You see? The house shot. So there's still going to be people on the earth, and you have women that desire to get married, but it's going to be, the population going to be so thin, all right? They're going to mourn.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Go ahead.
The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. The daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed,
yep.
And their husbands shall perish of famine.
And their husbands shall perish of famine. So you're going to have those that's going to perish in the chaos, the famine, Jacob trouble, all right, civil unrest. And then you're going to have those that die in the actual war. You see? So what is that going to leave, man? All right, that's going to leave a lot of women, all right, that's just here. And when we come out them chariots, we're gonna do what? Get you finished with that? Yep, get Deuteronomy 20 21. Yep, 21 and 10. Yep.
Deuteronomy 21 and 10.
Yep.
When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and Yahweh thy power have delivered them into thy hand, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and shalt shave her head and pare her nails.
Yep. So this is a post-war law. Now, real quick, get Revelation 19 and 11, because this is a post-war law, and we're gonna show you that. All right, Yahushua is coming to wage war, and he's going to be victorious. Go ahead.
All right, Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True.
Yep, that's Yahushua on that chariot. Go ahead.
And in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
In righteousness he doth judge and make war. So Yahushua is coming to wage war in righteousness, and he will prevail. Get Revelation 6. All right. Revelation 6 and 6 and 2.
Revelation chapter 6 verse 2. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. He went forth conquering and to conquer.
He went forth conquering to conquer. See that white horse? That's Yahushua on that chariot. And he's coming forth to wage war in righteousness, and he's going to conquer. All right? So now get Revelation 11 and 14. And then we'll go back to Deuteronomy, all right, and show you how this law plays in the prophecy, man. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 11 verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
This is the war where Yahushua is going to wage war on this society and righteousness. You see, World War I, all right, you had these Edomites fighting against each other. Then you had World War II, these Edomites going there against each other. But see, this third World War, Yahushua is going to intervene. He's going to come wage war and righteousness against, all right, these heathens, man, beginning with Esau, Edom. All right. And what's going to be the end result? Go ahead.
All right, back in Revelations 6 and 2.
Yep.
What was it, 11 and 14?
Oh, 11, 14, yep.
Revelations 11 and 14. The second war was past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly.
Go ahead, you read.
All right, verse 15. The seven angels sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever.
So the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and his anointed, all right, which is what? The first fruit, the 144,000, you know, and then you have the rest of the 1/3 men, women, and children under that umbrella, all right. But these kingdoms will become Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai is going to divide those kingdoms, all right, amongst his men. You see that? Get Revelation, not get Isaiah 13 and no, Isaiah 51 and 13, 53. Let me see. 53 and 12. Isaiah 53 and 12.
Okay.
You gotta remember, this is that's why you really have to understand ancient world customs to understand the Bible. You see, you really understand how kings, all right, maneuver in the earth, man. How empires are formed and forged, man. You see, this society is a very false, you know, sense of reality, man. You know, we going back to reality, man. We're going to get the use out of everything. Go ahead.
Isaiah 53 and 12.
Yep.
Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great.
So Yahweh Shai is going to get, is the him that's going to get the portion with the great. Go ahead.
And he shall divide the spoil with the strong.
And he shall divide the spoil with the strong. And spoils come from where? From
war.
When you win a war, you get spoils. Go ahead.
Because he hath poured out his soul unto death,
Yep.
and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and many intercession for the transgression.
Yeah, so he was worthy, all right, to go forth to conquer and conquer, man, because he fulfilled the will of the Heavenly Father. So the Lord is going to give him everything, you know, when he comes back, man. You see, the Lord has allowed Yahweh Shai to be able to come back and conquer in righteousness, man. You see, so now we just proved the point that Yahweh Shai is coming to wage war in righteousness, and he's going to conquer and win. He's going to absorb all these empires. So when we come out those chariots, all right, New Jerusalem come out those chariots, hey, it's going to be time to enact these laws, man, because it's going to be time to nation build. It's going to be time for post-war nation building, man. You know, you got that Deuteronomy.
All right, back to Deuteronomy. No, what was that?
21 and 10, I want to say.
All right, yep. Deuteronomy 21 and 10.
Yep.
When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and Yahweh thy power have delivered them into thy hand, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
And that goes to putting off, you know, her guys. All right, it's a reset for her. You know, because the earth is going to be under our vibration, man. The planet Earth will be under the vibration of the Israelite man in righteousness, beginning with Yahweh Shai, you see, the governing body, you know, and all the citizens of Israel, because Jake is already an influence now. It's just in wickedness, you see. But no, we're going to be an influence in righteousness, man. You see. So these heathens, all right, these heathen women, all right, their brothers, all right, choose to deal with, and then you're going to have the wives that the Lord, the wives of Israel that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to gather for brothers. But then also when we come down, brothers will be able, all right, to get the choice of the heathen women. And it's going to be for the purpose of nation building. But the Israelite woman, all right, of course, she's going to be first choice. And these heathen women that brothers get will be under the Israelite women. You see, it's going to all play out in order, man. You know, you got it, bro.
All right, verse 13. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
Yeah, so, and that's going to be the purpose of what? Nation building. Because if you went to war, remember, you would have casualties too. You would lose men. Because there's a lot of Israelite men that's going to die. All right, the 2/3, you know, a lot of men going to die.
That's a big number.
You see?
Yep.
Those men have to be replenished because now we in rulership.
Yep.
You see? Before war, we slaves. Post-war, we in rulership. So now it's going to be time to nation build. That's why now it ain't the time to nation build and heap up a lot of women because of what? We're in captivity, man.
And then another thing, along with captivity comes restrictions.
Yep.
You don't nation build with a mortgage.
Yep.
You don't nation build when your enemy has something called child support.
Yep.
Or you nation build when the enemy is overthrown. Now you have free course to build your nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, those are on that. You can get that. Let's get that example in 2 Samuel chapter 5, starting at 4. Now remember. Now we're gonna go to the account dealing with King David when he came to his throne. You know, what did he do? You know?
All right, 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 4.
Yep.
David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years.
Yep, so David was 30 years old when he began to reign because David had went through a lot before he got to the throne, you know? Because after he defeated Goliath, you know, he was young, maybe 14, 15. And then he was on a run with Saul. And then Saul eventually died. Then you had, you know, David's men fighting Saul men. And then he came into his throne. You know, eventually came into his throne and all tribes submitted, you know, unto David. All right? So now he's in power. Now he's in his sovereignty. All right, go ahead.
In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. Mm-hmm. And in Jerusalem, he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah.
Go ahead.
And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither, thinking David could not come in hither. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same as the city of David.
Go ahead.
Verse 8, And David said on that day, Whosoever get up to the gutter and smite at the Jebusites and the lame and the blind that are hated of David's soul, he shall be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come into the house.
Go ahead.
So David dwelt in the fort and called in it the city of David, and David built round about from Millo and inward.
Yep, go ahead.
And David went on and grew great, and the Yahweh power of hosts was with him.
Go ahead.
And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees and carpenters and masons, and they built David an house.
So David's coming into power. He's conquering. He's taking things. He's taking over things. All right. Heathens are in subjection to him. He got servants now. He got nations that serve him now. You see, it said, and Hiram, king of Tyre. So you have a king that's serving David now. You see, he came up. All right, go ahead.
And David perceived that Yahweh had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake.
And what's David about to do? Go ahead.
All right, verse 13. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David.
David began to do what, man? To build his legacy.
Yep.
All right. And it started with what? Him getting wives and concubines, and what he started to do, nation build. He was in power. Israel was in sovereignty. The Lord was with him. The Lord exalted his throne. You see? So that's what we're going to do post-war. We're going to nation build. You see? That's why scripture is written, you know, like they're written when you go to Isaiah. Isaiah 60 and 22. Yep, Isaiah 60 and 22.
Isaiah 60 and 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation.
Yep, a little one shall become 1,000, a small one a strong nation. You know, and it's one man. Yep. You got to think the nation of Israel began with one man. All right, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. You see, and those 12 sons that he started, pretty much started 12 individual nations, man.
And that's why the Most High created infinite realms.
Yep.
because you have planets, all right, but then you have a cluster of planets around a star.
Yep.
But then you have a cluster of those things called a galaxy.
Yep.
So, but then the Most High has thousands and millions of galaxies.
Yep.
So what's the purpose of that? In
Yep.
St. John 14 it says, "In my Father's house are many mansions."
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to inhabit that?
Yep.
And your seed.
Yep.
All right. All right.
So we got such a great inheritance coming. See, we sons of God. See, we're gonna be limitless in the kingdom. We're not gonna have limits. You see, ain't gonna be no population control, and you know, we gotta cut back what they call it, climate control and CO2 intake and all this shit Esau talking about. The earth is overpopulated. No, all right, we're going back to what Yahweh Bashim Shai commanded us to do, and that's be fruitful and multiply, man. You know, and we're gonna have abundance in all these things, man. You know. But every time the Israelite child is born, that's an extension of Yahweh Bashim Shai that has just entered into this realm. You see?
Sons of God.
Sons of God. It's gonna be way more important. It's gonna be way it's bigger than sex. Like I say, sex feels great, and it's gonna feel sex in the kingdom gonna be on a whole nother level. You see? But it's gonna be a bigger picture at hand, man. It's gonna be for legacy, for nation building. Each brother gets to grow their house, you know, and the overall picture, the nation of Israel gets to grow, and the glory of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is constantly growing, man. You see? And it's gonna be all post-war. Right now it's pre-war. So women ain't just super important right now. All right? You win the war, then you bring women into play, and you nation build, man. You see? Go ahead.
All right, Isaiah 60:22.
Yep.
A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I Yahweh will hasten it in his time.
Hold on, who gonna hasten?
All right, I Yahweh will hasten it in his time.
So Yahweh Bashim Al Shai gonna hasten nation building, because that's a nation building scripture. All right, a little one becomes 1,000. You know, a small one, a great nation. There's nation building.
And like you said, 2/3 of our people are gonna die.
Yep.
So if your nation has been heavily sacked
Yep.
through warfare, the remaining men have to establish polygamy to rebuild the nation as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 1,000 men, each man has 5 wives, that's already at 5,000 people.
Yep.
If every wife, all right, have a child, all right, that's what, 2,500.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let me get my math wrong. But if you got 1,000 men times 5 wives, that's 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of those wives have 5 children. That's 5 times 5. It's like 25.
Yep, 25,000.
25,000. I knew something was missing.
Yep.
So 25,000. So we went from 1,000 to 25,000 through the act of polygamy.
And that's multiplication.
Yep.
And you gotta think, it's gonna be one nation of people ruling over 18 other nations.
Yep.
All right. So we need as many rulers as
Mm-hmm.
possible, and those rulers need wives so they can bring forth more rulers, man.
Yeah, because you gotta break down the nations into small groups to govern.
Yeah.
Like Jethro set up the government with Moses.
Yep.
Or you had what, captains over thousands, captains over hundreds, captains over 50.
Yep.
You know?
And everybody gonna be high born. Everybody gonna be born into rank.
Yep.
All right. It's gonna be one big royal family, man. You see? Get that in, I think that's Genesis 36. We can end there. Genesis 36. No, 35.
Mm-hmm.
35 and 10.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh said unto him, Thy name is Jacob, thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name, and he shall call his name Israel.
So pretty much he was upgrading him, to royalty. Israel, you prince of the power. Your name shall be no more Jacob. All right, Jacob goes to supplanting. All right, lying way. He had already supplanted.
Yep.
You see? So now you're a prince of the power. You see? And when he elevates him to royalty, let's see what he tell him to do. Go ahead.
All right. It says, verse 11, and the power said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty, Be fruitful and multiply.
Be fruitful and multiply. That was a command. That was a commandment. All right. Even if you got, I seen a few, guys on the comment board talking about they want one woman in the kingdom. No. All right. That's that Lifetime movie mindset that we was brought up in over here. All right. That one true love, mindset. No. All right. No Israelite man is gonna have one woman. All right. You're gonna be catching bodies in the kingdom, man. You see, you
Body count high.
you gonna have a whole different mentality, man. All right, that's a peasant mentality, man.
And being in love with your one wife.
Yeah, that's you got it, bro.
I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Kings don't move off love.
No.
They move off legacy building.
Yep.
Expanding power.
Yep.
That's why if it was about love, I gotta get the scripture up to get done with this.
Bro.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And the power said unto him, I am the power almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
And kings shall come out of thy loins. If you producing kings,
yeah,
why would you want to put a cap on it?
Nope.
If everything that you produce is kings, you see?
It's like you got a deck of cards.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you got a bunch of kings in that in that stack, man.
Come on, man. Like if you had let's say if you had dollars, $5 bills, $10 bills, $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill, and if someone said, look, which one do you want to multiply the most of? What you gonna say? The 100.
Oh.
All right. So here it is. we produce God kings. So you gonna want to keep multiplying it. You see? You got it, bro. What you know what it is? I get it.
Yeah, about Solomon and marrying the daughter of Pharaoh.
Okay, come. First Kings 11.
Is it 11?
All right, this is First Kings 11:1. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
And there was another one that just specifically said that he made an alliance with the daughter of Pharaoh. He made an affinity with the Pharaoh and married his daughter. And what he did, that affinity really went into that alliance. I got it.
All right, one.
Yep.
All right, good.
Go ahead, water.
All right, this is 1 Kings 3:1. And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
He made an alliance.
Yep.
Let's see how was that manifested.
And took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David.
So the intent was, it wasn't love at first sight.
Mm-hmm.
She captivated him. They both made eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Now he made an alliance with the king of Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
And the alliance was cemented through marrying the Pharaoh's daughter.
Yep.
All right.
And it said he took her into the city of David.
Yep.
And how was the city of David established? Through war.
Yep.
So Solomon is post-war nation building, man.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to say king of Pharaoh, but yeah.
Yep. And it says, until he had made an end of building his own house and the house of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, and the wall of Jerusalem round about.
Then it goes to show you that, because brothers say, I'm gonna have one woman for infinity.
Nah.
All right, when you think like a king, you're gonna move like a king.
Yeah.
So you're about legacy building, expanding your power, you expanding. Other kings gonna want you to marry their daughters. You gonna say no?
Yep.
Because they're gonna make an effort to get in good with you. They want a piece of your power.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you to marry that bad daughter, man. You might have that one Israelite. This is my top Israelite wife out of my 500 that I have.
Yeah.
You might have that top one because the Most High has a favorite everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not gonna have a one. You might have a number one, but you're not gonna have one.
Yep.
Is that it on that, bro?
Yep.
That's pretty much it. It's just to make the point that kings move off power, not emotion.
Yeah.
So that's what that is, man.
It's all about forwarding the household.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're going back to, man. Like royalty made decisions. It is always based on the future, on the legacy, down the line. Right now, it's decision based on the
Pleasing the flesh.
condition we in. Yeah, pleasing the flesh.
Yeah.
You know, there's like yoga pants and
Sheet thick.
Yeah, that's deep as it goes. No, man, we are being elevated to another way of thinking, man. You see, when the scriptures say we become a new creature, all things are new. You know, those that are born in Yahushua, it really meant to go into a mindset of royalty, man.
And something that priest of Bible said, like emotions, those are really spirits.
Yep.
Those really demons, because a woman can be in love, then she can be out of love.
Yep.
You know, you could be feeling a certain way towards a woman, but next thing you know, it's like you snapped out of it.
Yep.
But when you do something with the purpose of building your legacy, that doesn't change.
That's because it's matter of fact, we get that up there 401. Hey, because really what makes the connection of man and woman is the responsibility they have towards each other.
Yeah.
You see, duty goes way beyond love.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a fact.
Duty is way beyond love, man. You know, and if both of y'all doing y'all duty, y'all gonna have a genuine love. Not that, not that romance.
Yeah.
You see, that Disney movie. No, it's gonna be a genuine love that you really have for one another. Cause Hebrew men, they love their women. You see, but it was based off of duty.
You love when your woman cook for you.
Yep.
You love when your woman hold down the house domestically, man. But she love when you play those masculine roles, when you play that provider, you add stability to her life.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all respect each other like that.
You expanding the household.
Yeah.
You know. This Isaiah 4:1 says, "In that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying," and this is gonna be during the time of chaos, man.
Yeah.
We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. And that's talking about a mindset.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have the mind of, take me here, take me there. If you ain't got no jet, get out my inbox. If you ain't got no Rolex, get out my inbox. All that old silly shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be done away with. And most of them gonna die. All right. It's gonna be the few ones that the Lord have mercy on. After they see their sisters get put to death. All right, gonna get their mind right, man.
Yep.
It says, now this the point. In that day shall the branch of the Lord Yahweh shall be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. That's their remnant.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem, when we get back in power, shall be called holy, because the women that are joined to the men of the Lord in chaos, those are going to be the women that's going to begin the process of nation building post-war. And it says, and it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst, all right, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. You see? So, all of it is going to lead into nation building. Even the women that join to brothers in this time, they're going to be there for the purpose of nation building. That's why she's going to be saved in what? Childbearing.
Mm-hmm.
For the purpose of building the nation, man. And she gonna have a beautiful, everybody gonna be upgraded to a royal status, man.
And the Most High set that up, 7 women shall cleave to one man.
Yep.
Because that's the beginning of, forging our empire, man.
Mm-hmm.
2/3 of our people gonna be wiped out.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was it.
Hey, that was a beautiful lesson, man. Hey, well, with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakodash. Double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops, a great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect, Abba Ball. Come Shalom.
Shalom.